after last week and the Lions getting punched in the mouth, the Lions needed the bounce back win and needed to step up after being punched by Seattle last week. And they stepped right back up and they completely shut down the Falcons. You know, everyone talking about a whole week ago because of the Lions' injuries, they didn't stand a chance against the Falcons. Well, I told you the Lions would still beat the Falcons. I had confidence in them. And honestly, fuck this pathetic excuse of a fan base that said the Lions didn't stand a chance and sold out on the Lions after one fucking loss. Maybe someday this fan base will stop fucking selling out on the first side of trouble and battles in adversity, but I highly doubt it. But yeah, Lions get the season back on track. The Tigers, their season is almost over, so let's talk about Detroit sports this week. So, starting off with the Tigers. Well, for the Tigers, it's another week, another disappointing Tigers week. With Tigers losing 2 series out on their West Coast swing, losing a 3-game set, dropping a 3-game set to the Dodgers, as the Dodgers are getting warmed up for another World Series run, unless Clayton Kershaw shits the bed again in the playoffs. And then they split a series with the worst fucking team in the league, in the Oakland Athletics. Really splitting a series with the Athletics, that's how you know this Tigers team is at fucking rock bottom. And with the Tigers splitting that series against the Athletics, it officially means that the Tigers have now officially been eliminated from playoff contention. So the Tigers are once again eliminated from playoff contention, will not make the postseason. There will be no October in the 3-1-3 for the Tigers. Well, all I have to say is this is kind of weird for the Tigers, because normally the Tigers are eliminated either end of August or first week of September. But we're at the end of September and it took them this long to get eliminated. I mean, part of that was because the AL Central was a complete fucking joke, and honestly, Minnesota won the division by default because everybody else in the division either sucked ass or collapsed or were too inconsistent. You pick your poison in that situation. Plus, it doesn't matter about how Minnesota did, because Minnesota's going to get fucking exposed in the first round and lose to a real contending team. Either that or they'll lose in the second round to probably either Houston or Baltimore, or whoever wins the AL West, since Houston's trying to choke that division to the Texas Rangers. Oof. I mean, I'll talk more about the Tigers and what I think of the team's progress and future going forward after next week, because don't worry, folks, there's only one more week of this shit left and then the Tigers season is over. Plus, Red Wings season is just around the corner. And same deal with Pistons season, too. Because Red Wings preseason starts this week, so at least we'll have something to distract us during this last week of baseball and this last week of hell. But yeah, not really surprising the Tigers got eliminated. Probably a little surprising it took this long. I mean, it's really hard to have any confidence or faith or see any good progress from this team. Even though it is better than last year, I mean, it's very hard to trust the progress, though, when Chris Illich still fucking exists and still has his grubby little hands on everything. But yeah, I'll talk more about that next week when Tigers season is over. But yeah, just another week of Tigers baseball hell. Now on to the one team in Detroit that isn't in hell yet. We have the Lions. And yeah, the Lions, this was a complete just dumb bounce-back game from the defense. Just completely dominated the Falcons. Everything the Falcons did, they shut the Falcons down. They shut Desmond Ridder down. This game, it didn't matter what fucking quarter it was. Desmond Ridder wasn't doing a goddamn thing in this game. Defense stepped up, limit the Falcons to only 2 field goals. They stepped up, they got pressure to QB. Aiden Hutchinson even had his first 2 sacks of the year. Even though, Hutchinson still got 2 sacks. Even despite getting held every fucking play. You know what's got to be pathetic for the Falcons offense? The fact that you were getting away with holding on Hutchinson every fucking play, and he still got 2 sacks on the QB. Honestly, Atlanta, that fact, Atlanta, that you were fucking cheating and Hutchinson still got to the QB, that is honestly fucking pathetic. Like, honestly, if you're holding him, then you should be keeping him away from the QB, not the other way around. But yeah, Hutchinson was able to battle the adversity and finally got to the QB. I don't know, maybe he had some motivation though from his sister doing the national anthem. You beat it. You do the judging there. But yeah, even the Lions' big four rookies all stepped up today when it mattered. You know, Brian Branch had a fucking game. Holy shit. Branch had a fucking outstanding game. Like, I think Brian Branch is right now the early front runner for Defensive Rookie of the Year. You know, even Sam Laporta looked fucking good in this game. Like, he had his fucking best game of the season, even got his first career touchdown. Even Jahmyr Gibbs out fucking shined Bijan Robinson, because everyone's saying, oh no, because I heard this fucking fan base talk about all week how, oh, Bijan is going to go Jackie Chan on our weak defense, and that the Lions made a mistake, taking Jahmyr Gibbs over Bijan and trading down, and they were calling for Brad Holmes' head. Honestly, people just need to shut the fuck up and let MC, and Brad Holmes fucking cook and do their goddamn jobs. Yeah, Jack Campbell even made some big plays too, but yeah, Jahmyr Gibbs easily outshined Bijan Robinson. Man, it's crazy what happens when Jahmyr actually gets a shot and gets a chance to perform. And he stepped up to the plate and outshined Bijan Robinson. So yeah, that was good defense, completely shut the Falcons down. Like, Lions did their job, you know, did everything they needed to. It wasn't a pretty win, it was more of a defensive game, to be perfectly honest. But, you know, the Lions, they were able to capitalize on the opportunities they got. They made the most of it. You know, and Hutchinson stealing the win with the fumble and the recovery. So, yeah, great job there. So, yeah, Hutchinson finally got some sacks on the board. So, now Hutchinson had 2 sacks on the season. Should have had more, but he finally got some now. But now maybe the offensive lines will start to stop holding Hutchinson when they realize that they can no longer cheat and hold to keep Hutchinson from the QB. But yeah, just great win from the Lions. Needed to bounce back, and they got that win. They beat the Falcons, and they sent the Falcons back down to earth. I don't know, the Falcons, though, despite that, though, Atlanta might still be a solid front runner for the division. I mean, Atlanta, even though they lost this game, they could still win the NFC South, because that division is still a total crapshoot. Because, honestly, whoever wins the South wins it by default. Like, it's a wide-open division. I don't know. Could the Falcons do it? I mean, it's possible. I mean, they more than likely have to go through New Orleans to get it, but could still be possible. But yeah, the Lions get the season back on track. They get the 2-1, beat the Falcons 20-6. Just a great team win from the Lions. You know, the Lions came hungry, wanted to step up after last week. You know, bounce right back. You know, defense, after being completely shredded last week, the defense stepped up. You know, like I said at the start of the week, this team needs to either step up or step aside. They chose step up. While a good chunk of the fan base I've seen on social media chose step aside. Not surprising the fan base chose the latter, because this fan base cannot battle fucking adversity. Honestly, great win for all the real Lions fans. Fuck all the fake bandwagon bitches that were just hopping on the Lions because of the offseason. But yeah, and odds are those fakes are probably now going to try and hop back on the Lions bandwagon after selling out last week. But yeah, just a great win from the Lions. Just completely shut the Falcons down. Like in Atlanta, like the 3-1-3 was a no-fly zone for the Dirty Birds. But yeah, great win from the Lions. You know, Lions at 2-1, still tied for the division lead over with the Packers. And the Lions now got some big leeway in the division, because they're clearly second now, with the Minnesota and Chicago both going to 0-3. Yeah, because Chicago's becoming a living, breathing shit show in the division. And the Vikings no longer have that fucking golden horseshoe shoved up their ass like they did last year, because Minnesota can no longer back into wins like they did last year. Yeah, all luck. Yeah, Minnesota's all luck, no skill has all ran out. But yeah, got the win. Now a short week as we prepare for the big game. because big game next week on Thursday night against the Packers in Lambeau. And that's a must-win game because Green Bay, because somehow after all the talk about saying how Detroit probably needs to contend with Minnesota for it, now Detroit's got to contend once again with Green Bay for the division lead. And this Green Bay team doesn't have Aaron Rodgers, and it's with Jordan Love. Man, why can't Green Bay just fucking die already? Like, why can't you just fucking go away, Green Bay? Just fuck off. No one wants to see you at the fucking top after you wasted 2 fucking Hall of Fame quarterbacks. But don't worry, after Thursday, we'll humble Green Bay and send them back down, and Green Bay can finally fuck off. But anyway, I think that wraps it up here. Great win. Time to celebrate the Lions win. And yeah, on the Green Bay Thursday night. See y'all later. I'm out.